Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel and welcome to another 13 days of Halloween Tumbler tutorial. We are coming down to the end of the series and I really hope you guys have enjoyed it so far. I have had so much fun making all of these Halloween tumblers and it's really getting me in the mood for spooky season. In this video, we are going to go bright, colorful, and super fun. And of course, we're going to keep the Halloween spooky theme going. Everything I'm using in this video will be listed and linked down below in the description box as always. I'll also have some discount codes down there for you, as well as links to all of my social media pages if you'd like to follow along with me anywhere else. So I'll have my Instagram, my Facebook page, my Facebook group, my exclusive mentorship group if you would like to join that for some extra content from me every month. And I think that's it. I really hope you guys enjoy this video. As always, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoy the video, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not already. Okay, let's go! We're using a 30-ounce stubby tumbler from Craft Haven for this design, and I've already gone and cut out my wavy line template. This is available on my website. And for this specific tumbler, I did not resize the file, so as it came into Silhouette Studio, I just left it that way. And I cut it out of two different sheets of pattern vinyl. So this first pink one is from the August Peachy palette, and then the spiderweb one is from BAMF Custom Creations. So I just cut 3 wavy lines out of each one. We're only going to use 2 on this tumbler, but the file comes with 3, so I just cut 3 just in case. So what I'm going to do is take my first stripe and I'm going to lay it down on my tumbler. Now you can go as diagonal as you want with this. And once I had my first stripe down, I'm going to go through and cut off the excess from the top and the bottom. Now on the bottom, I'm just going to cut a straight line because we're going to glitter the bottom later. So I'm just going to cut that off straight. And then I'm going to take my next pattern. So what I'm doing is alternating the pattern so that they're next to each other and we have this really cool mixed colorful look. So I'm just going to lay that wavy line down right next to the wavy line that we just put down. I'm overlapping them just a little bit, just trying to get them as lined up as perfectly as I can. So you can see I'm just layering these next to each other, building up our like wavy section here. I'm cutting off the excess from the top and bottom as I go. I also cut my wavy line template out of some stencil vinyl, and we're going to use this as a placeholder for, whoops, I ruined that one, for our glitter areas, because we're going to throw some glitter stripes in here as well. So I'm going to lay these down as a placeholder for just where I want to put my glitter. And these are just spacers. They're not going to stay here, obviously, so they don't need to be laid down perfectly. I just want to be able to align my stripes in the right way. So once we've got this stripe on here, we'll actually go in and remove this guy. And we'll make sure that this is laid down perfectly. And we'll cut off the excess. With our webs. Okay, so here's what our cup looks like. We've got one glitter section here, and then we've got our big glitter section here. So we've got 2 of each of our patterns, which I think looks pretty cool. So now what we're going to do is go in and add our templates to tape off our vinyl areas, if that makes sense. So when you use these, you don't want to throw them away because we're going to place them right over the patterned vinyl to protect it from all of the paint and stuff. And we're going to stripe this out later. So if you're like just a little off in your application, if you have any spacing or anything, that's totally okay, because we're gonna add some vinyl lines and cover all that up and make everything look really clean. So no worries. So for this section, I want to use, I think, the orange. And then for this section, we're gonna use Sugar Sugar. So we've got Mega and Sugar Sugar. And then for the bottom, we're going to use Muffin. So I'm gonna go in with just my paint by itself first. This is the color Candid Coral. Any orange paint you have will work just fine. But I wanna make sure I have a really nice solid base for my glitter before I put it on my tumbler. So we're gonna do a coat of paint, let it dry, and then we'll do another coat with some glue mixed in. All right, so we're going in with our second coat of paint now with the glitter glue mixed in. We're gonna paint a really good layer of this on our wave, and then we're going to take Mega, which is a new glitter color from the August Peachy palette, and we're going to cover that wavy line with this glitter. By the way, if you're looking for a really good Halloween glitter, Mega is it. It is so perfect for Halloween. It's a true orange. I really, really love it. Once the glitter was applied, I went through and removed that stencil vinyl from each edge, removed my little piece of tape at the bottom, and then brushed off as much excess as I could. After that, I let that sit and dry for about 2 hours, and now I'm gonna go in and paint my middle section. So again, we're gonna do this one pink, and for this one, I just decided to freehand my painting. The stencil vinyl didn't work out too great on masking off those edges. It wasn't as clean as I had hoped it would be, so I just decided to go rogue here and do it freehand for this larger section. So I'm gonna go in with just my paint here. This is Bubblegum, I believe, from the Delta Creative Ceram Coat brand. And I'm gonna paint a really good solid coverage section here, and then we will go in and apply our glitter. Now, unfortunately, my camera cut out when I applied my glitter, but I just used my acrylic paint as the adhesive for the glitter. So after about maybe 30 to 45 minutes, that paint was totally dry underneath the glitter, and I was able to go in and seal everything up. So I'm going to seal the pink glitter first, and then I'll go over and seal the orange as well. And again, I'm using a 50-50 mixture of the Crystalac glitter glue mixed with water. That's my favorite solution for sealing glitter. It just makes it go a little bit further. It's not as thick, it's easier to brush on, and it seals just as well. So you get almost double your product if you do it that way. So after I sealed my glitter, I added 2 coats of epoxy to my tumbler. I used the Flynn Sisters Fast Cure epoxy, so I waited about 4-ish hours between coats, and each coat was about 25 milliliters. After that, I'm going to go through and add my wavy line striping to my tumbler. I didn't do any sanding because my cup was relatively smooth, so I just went right in with my next step. But if your cup is not smooth after 2 coats, you'll want to sand your tumbler down and then add another thin coat of epoxy to your cup before you do this step. Because we're going to add our vinyl striping, but we're also going to add some clear decals in just a minute. And you want to make sure that you don't have any sanding marks or dull surfaces underneath those clear decals, because they won't shine back up with epoxy. So anyway, now we are doing our striping for in between our wavy lines. The striping also comes with the file that you purchase when you get the wavy lines, and I didn't resize these either, so I just cut them out of my plain white Oracal 651 vinyl, and I'm just lining them up with the wavy lines, as you can see here. Super easy to use, and I feel like it just gives it a really nice finished look. So after all of my striping was applied, I decided that I wanted to add these lightning bolts to the tumbler just kind of randomly to just make it a little bit more fun and whimsical and different. And luckily, each of the patterns that I used have a matching clear lightning bolt decal, but if the patterns that you choose don't, you can always just take your vinyl and cut out a lightning bolt, or really whatever shape you want to use. You can do hearts or stars or whatever you want to do. You can just cut them out using your cutting machine and get this exact same effect. So I'm just taking these white ones and I'm placing them around the cup using painter's tape to see where I want to put them before I actually lay them down on the tumbler. I was trying to put them in a high contrasting area. So I didn't want to put the white lightning bolt over the white vinyl completely. I wanted to put it in the opposite area, if that makes sense. So I finally found where I wanted to put them, and then I adhered them down to the tumbler. So after this, we are going to apply our main decal, and that's going to go on the bottom of the tumbler, mainly in that big pink glitter section that we laid out earlier. We're going to do a double offset for our decal. So we've got our black bottom layer, a hot pink middle layer, and then for the top we're going to do white. So we're just tying in all of the colors that we already have going in our design. So I'm going to take my black layer first, and I'm going to lay that on the cup and then just layer from there. Now, like I said, this is going to go in our pink section, but it is a little bit bigger, obviously, than the pink section. So I want to just make sure that I have it kind of centered, I guess, within the design. You can really put this wherever you want with a whimsical design like this. You can't really put your decal in a wrong place because it's going to look right no matter what, if that makes sense. So once I had the black down, I took the hot pink middle layer and I'm going to layer that right on top. And look at me go, I'm putting it all down in one piece. And you guys, I'm doing that only because there wasn't anywhere on the offset that I could cut it into smaller pieces. So after I've got this laid down, I'm going to take my top layer and I am going to cut that one into smaller pieces just like I always do. And I'll just lay those right on top of their pink matching counterpart. And then we will move on to the next step. By the way, this decal is available on my website if you are interested in using it. So now that all of our vinyl work is completed, the only thing left to do is take care of the bottom of our cup. So I'm going to take some electrical tape and tape off that bottom section of our tumbler. And down here, we are going to use another color from the August palette. We're going to use Muffin. So I'm going to take some glitter glue and some black acrylic paint, mix those together in a cup, and then we are going to paint the bottom of our tumbler, and then take Muffin and glitter the bottom. Muffin is the perfect composition book color, by the way, so if you make a lot of like teacher things, Muffin is definitely a color you'll want to grab. After I'm done glittering, I'm going to remove all of the tape from my cup. I'm going to let this sit and dry for, I think I let it sit overnight, if I'm not mistaken. But once it's totally dry, I'm going to go to my turner and I'm actually going to seal my cup with some polyacrylic. Now, I usually will do this with my vinyl work, but typically I seal my vinyl with the glitter glue. But in this case, I wanted to just seal everything at once and not wait the 2-hour dry time. So I just sealed the body of my cup first, and then I went down and sealed the glitter section on the bottom. And I had to let this sit and dry. It was cold on the day I was working on this, so I let it dry for about an hour and a half. And then I went in and added my final 2 coats of epoxy. So here is the final tumbler design. So this is definitely not traditional Halloween at all, but I think it still brings some super fun, spooky Halloween vibes. And I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Please be sure to let me know what you think down below in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, hit that thumbs up button down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you are not already, and I will see you guys tomorrow for another Halloween video. Thank you so much for watching, and that's it. Love you. Bye.